What I want to hear from you, what is create before consume from your perspective? When you hear this, what do you think?
Oh boy.
And that's your intro.
Oh, okay.
Free balling.
See, that's really what I'm struggling with is like when we talk about creating before consuming, it's as if we're making a choice where we have to create something before we consume something else. Is that what the thing is?
Kinda, yeah. Like, if you think about it, it's like you can decide if you sit on the TV, watch your Netflix, or if you record a video or whatever.
Man, yeah. So that's like the great dividing line between making forward momentum and just kind of kicking back and taking it easy.
Yeah.
So today for me was a consume day.
Okay.
I didn't create a lot today. I've created, well, I take that back. I created a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
I started my day with creation. So maybe there's something there.
I kind of like that. So, but what does that mean? What did you create and what did you consume?
So before I got too involved in my day, I decided that it was time to create. So for me, a form of daily creation, which I guess is sort of a type of meditation, right?
Kind of, yeah.
So I took these photos around Seminole Heights, and so I went ahead and went through those and picked a couple shots that I liked, and I took the time to like really edit them.
Gosh,
this was like 45 minutes of my day, kind of starting out, and that was like the first thing I did. The rest of the day was slacking off, but at least before I did anything else, I took some time to create something.
I like that. That is like one of the things where everybody is like morning routines, like, hey, the perfect millionaire routine, for example. Everybody saw that stuff, like I wake up at 4 a.m. and then I work out and then I'm, do my work and head start of everybody, blah, blah, blah. Are you a morning person, kind of, sort of? When you do work, do you do it in the morning or it's like through the day?
Well, it can be through the day, but I'm a night owl. I'm a night guy.
Okay.
Like I can really crank the motor up to 11 throughout the evening and into the night.
It's kind of like me.
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but like caffeine is one of my big things right now. I say that right now, like it's been one of my things ever since I officially started in my daily job kind of life. But coffee, I try not to have too much of it, but it's most days where I'm going to have a morning coffee to kind of kick me off because I kind of need it because I'm not a morning guy. But then at night, you can see me brewing up a fresh brew like around 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing too. Like, but I guess like every adult can relate to that, when you suffer with work and you're just like, oh, what makes my day better? And it's obviously the cup of joe. And then you're just like, okay, this is now the new drug.
Well, yeah, it's the most widely accepted and adopted drug around the world. A little caffeine.
Yeah, nothing bad with that. I'm addicted.
Yeah, I mean it's not you're not gonna get strung out on coffee very easily, so we can live with it.
Yeah, but on that note, who are you and what do you do? Like.
My name is Trevor Collinson, and I'm a creative. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a gangster. And, no, I'm definitely not a gangster.
Aren't we all gangsters? I don't know.
I mean, I like to think I am, but no, I'm just a guy that's trying to create something bigger.
I like that.
Yeah, like I try to create things that are bigger than what I've created before. Things that are better than what I've created before, and things that are ideally better than the things that I'm seeing, which seems a little bit big and audacious almost. But like, I just want to be able to create something, because like I think that everybody, when they're born into this world, right, they kind of have this sort of like they have this like take on what they're going to do in life. Some people are great with numbers. Some people like love paperwork and could just do paperwork all day.
True.
Like I've had to do some paperwork recently, and it was just like the set like one step away from death. Like,
wait a minute. What does that even mean? Like, you're talking about your taxes and you're just like thinking the IRS is hitting you up, or what?
I mean, paperwork in general, right? If you hand me a stack of white papers with black ink and they're stapled together and I have to flip through them and do stuff, it's like slow, painful death.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I realized early on that I love to. I'm all about visuals. I'm all about aesthetic.
Okay.
So ever since then, throughout my early life, whether doing finger paints and putting it in like the third grade art competition, or pursuing a graphic design degree in college and taking all these art classes, or starting my own company for brand design, stuff like that.
So that is actually a good point. So you and your wife do have a company, like I think together and separate. Oh,
well, girlfriend.
Oh, so,
well. You're in married man mind now.
Yeah, I'm bad. With
every couple is every couple's married.
Yeah, in my head they're together. Like that's how I see it. I'm like, and I didn't want to say the wrong thing, and here I am saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, there you go. It's all good. Yeah. So yeah, she has her own company. I have my own company. And we're just kind of doing it. It's she does more like social media type stuff. She's really great with communication, great with people skills and all that stuff. And I'm kind of more of building a brand design company that brings you in. I'm mostly focusing on like smaller businesses, companies that have already been established, right? So they've got their product, they've got their service, whatever. They're ready to like kick it up a notch. And that's where my company comes in to do things like the logo design, or the photography, the videography, the website, and all that stuff to kind of get them set up for success on like a higher level.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not doing the the brand design of like major institutions or major corporations just yet. I understand what goes into them, but that's not really where I'm at yet. So
no, yeah. I totally get that. And I think even not to like downplay what you do, like or play however you want to say, because like you could do the big things because it's just way more work, I guess, right. But it's the same base kind of concept. And that is the thing where I'm struggling with, like branding and being like clarity. How do you, like, let's say, find your clarity, because like I'm ADHD pure and talking a lot.
Yeah. So I think for everybody, it's about either finding the niche that you're particularly good at. Yeah. So if you're particularly good at like video, or if you're particularly good graphic designer, like really explore that one thing and become great at that one thing.
Yeah.
Because like when I think like, I'm a business owner, so if I think like, wow, I really need some like talented like graphic designer for this project I've got, a client needs some graphic design work, like I'm not going to turn to another person like myself.
Yeah.
Like I know that I've designed logos from the ground up, right? But I'm not, just trying to be the designer, the doer of everything.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that I have the experience in everything. I've done a lot of these things, and I'm kind of trained in a lot of these things. So it's now I'm just trying to move past it, where it's like now I'm just quality controlling. I'm looking and saying, I need a graphic designer for this project. I'll hire them. They'll get it done. They'll knock it out of the park. And so there's room for both people, right?
Yeah.
So where I have all these skill sets, they've kind of focused in this particular area, to where now I have a full business with all these services that I have experience in.
Yeah.
So there's room for the
I'm so sorry. The sound is too good. Like,
and now a commercial break.
Break for the beer porn.
Bush beer, non-alcoholic, brewed to perfection, available.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, but the first was like, hitting me.
Well, anyway, I think my overarching point is that not everybody has to worry about whether they know too many things, they're spreading themselves out too much, or are focusing on one thing and they're worried about succeeding because they're only doing one thing. I think there's room for both people to totally excel.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the generalist and the other thing.
What was specialist?
The specialist and the generalist. The generalist is arranging the tools. Specialist is like getting hired for specific things. And yeah, I don't know, like so you want to be like a generalist and basically like hire all the dream team or whatever, or you.
Well, yeah, I think really what I'm working toward is being a specialist, but of a field that's more large scale.
Okay.
So like moving toward being more of like the guy, like the visionary with like the bigger picture.
Yeah, like basically, like you said in the beginning, entrepreneur. It's kind of the thing, I guess.
Well, yeah. So like doing the quality control is saying, like, if my company is putting out this work, this is how good it needs to be, and this is how awesome it needs to be, and this is the kind of story it needs to tell, and like what kind of people's attention we're going to be getting with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, the graphic has to look like this, the video has to look like this. I'm saying it all has to look like this, and it has to be able to meet these goals that we've got.
Yeah. That's also like kind of an interesting point, because like, let's say you got a client and you don't identify with their style or branding and stuff like that. How have you approached stuff like that, and had to deal with that, where you're basically like, I don't really like what you're doing, but I know that that's what you should do? And how would you go about stuff like that, like in general?
So any time that I start working with a new client, generally they're coming to me with some sort of branding already been done. To one degree or another. So I would say that it's sort of my responsibility at that point to be able to work within whatever branding they've already set up for themselves.
Yeah.
I can certainly offer and say, hey, your logo looks like it was run over by a truck. So we should.
Well, you can't even say that either. You got to be nice.
Right. You gotta be nice. But like, yeah, no, you do. And so you certainly don't want to insult a client right off the bat. But you think it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like, so, you can certainly offer to redo some of these things that are problematic, and you can explain like, this is not exactly a good XYZ item that you've got here. But you also have to be skilled enough to be able to step into whatever they've already got set up.
Yeah.
And then help drive that forward even more.
Yeah.
And yes, that has happened to me several times.
Okay, got you. So little backstory, I would say. We did this whole thing here already once or twice, basically once. But
deja vu.
But what do you think about the new setup? You love it? You like the white?
What you did over here, yeah.
Really cool. Check the screen. You like the setup, or is it like a little bit? I don't know.
No, I think it's good.
It's like a little top down,
I certainly like the audio.
Okay.
Audio crisp. Good.
The little bit that we recorded the other day, it was also pretty good, but
allegedly, we'll never know.
Yeah, well, there was like a little short that actually went somewhat viral on YouTube, like 1,000 views. For a podcast, it is a lot.
Blown up.
Yeah, like a little bit, I guess. But yeah. So on that note, did you had anything where you were like, I wish I talked about that and I didn't talk about that?
Oh man. The last time we chatted?
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't really remember. I feel like I feel like last time didn't I like start getting into like some like personal topics?
Yeah, you got a little bit dark.
Yeah, so I think like I would probably avoid doing that.
No, just dive right into it, because like the darker the better, the real it is,
Yeah, like when I grew up, man, it was real weird living in Kansas and being part of the
Kansas. Oh, okay,
Kansas,
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a Midwest guy.
Yeah. So what I like saw over the last couple what I saw over the last couple of days, I'm like seeing you consistently posting. I really like that, and I have not posting anything bad with that.
Yeah.
So you have like a mantra where you're like, okay, we talked in the beginning about your morning. You kind of have a routine, or what is your posting schedule and how you deal with the pressure of social media?
So it's really interesting that you bring that up because social media, I'm starting to find that, and this is, I'm sure, not news to a lot of people, but it can have like a lot of like toxic effects, I feel, on your mind.
Yeah.
So like I feel like there's been this sort of feeling where it's like I'm trying to create something for everybody,
Yeah.
and then hoping that everybody appreciates it. But I think that's sort of flawed thinking, because I don't think that everybody's going to even see it based on the algorithms and stuff, and B, and like, who knows, maybe they don't like it. Maybe, maybe their feeds are buried by all this other content coming in. It's like maybe it just passed over. So it's like I think the problem is that you can get wrapped up in the response that you get or don't get. So I'm really focusing right now on not giving a shit. So
that is a good skill to have. Not caring is the best thing.
Yeah. So like I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm doing with my work to try and evolve it these days.
Okay.
Really trying to push my own boundaries like a little bit with what I'm putting out. So but ultimately I'm also trying to make something that just like that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I've been shooting photos for, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think last time I probably talked about the darkroom stuff, right?
Yeah, you kind of, so you got like basically the photographer's journey from A to B, you know, where everybody nowadays like, oh, I got a camera because I have a phone, but you did it the real way, I guess, or not the real way, but the
classic way.
The classic way.
Yeah. I have.
If you want to go over that again.
See, I have the time that we are alive and the time that I'm alive throughout this crazy thing we call life in general, is that when I started off doing photography, there wasn't like digital cameras really. Like, it wasn't really a thing. Like digital cameras at all. It was really
novelty. I think when I was a kid too, where they're like, oh, somebody has a camera, and it was the thing.
Yeah, well, so like there was no such thing as digital cameras at all when I was a kid. It was still film 100%. And so when I got into photography in college, I borrowed my mom's old contacts, which I'd be surprised if anybody like knew that brand off the top of their head, but like a Contax, 35 millimeter camera with like a couple lenses. And I was developing film in the darkroom.
Nice.
St. Pete College had an excellent program for photography with a really great teacher. And it was all black and white.
So wait a second, you said St. Pete. Like back in the day as a kiddo, you were here?
No. So, okay. So I moved to Florida when I was like 10.
Oh.
And when I, like 0 to 10, I lived in Kansas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I moved down to Florida when I was 10, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And my college career is crazier than that, though. Like, I started off at a college in Missouri.
Yeah.
For 1 year. I came down to St. Pete College for, oh gosh, what was it, like a year and a half or 2 years? I don't remember now. No, I think it was a year and a half. I was in St. Pete College. And then I finished out my degree up in Arkansas for another like 2 years or something like that. Yeah. Or a year and a half, something like that. So yeah, bouncing all over the place. But at the same time, I ended up in some really great programs, like a good graphic design program up in Arkansas, really good like fine arts education in St. Pete.
College, I hear, that's one of those things where I was like, nowadays you have to really decide, do I want to go to college? Because it costs an arm and a leg, and actually another person as well. But back in the day, did that was a major thing, or how was it back then?
So I'm really fortunate, because my parents made it a point to put their kids through college. So I'm sure it like was a huge financial burden for them because it was four of us kids,
Yeah.
that were all going to go to college in one way or another. I think I don't remember if we all got like bachelor's degrees, me and all my siblings, but anyway, we all did like post high school, like, education.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was lucky enough that I didn't have to worry about like college debt.
Well, that is like a blessing. Nowadays, it's like kind of
Yeah.
weird. Like you met Sean. Sean has a lot
Yeah.
of college stuff
Oh,
going
really?
on.
Yeah, I mean most people who had to take out student loans and stuff.
I have to let the
sure.
cats in. I hear it like in the background crying. This is a little response.
Drink more fizzy water.
Yeah, drink more, do more. Okay, and we're back. Sorry for didn't want to interrupt you, but I just like it picked it up. The mics are so good.
They're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of that. But on that note, so have you reached out to Sean or?
Yeah, we did some talking. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. There might be some more collaboration with him down the road. So yeah, very cool guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him down here because like if Sean, if you see this, you gotta move down here.
Sean.
Come back
Here. At least visit.
Yeah, something like that.
Anything.
Anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta need the network here.
Yeah, for sure.
But on that note again, like, what is your opinion about college right now?
About college right now?
Yeah. Because like you went through college,
Mhm.
I guess it was less painful as it is for the kids nowadays.
I really don't know how it is for kids now.
It's a lot of.
I mean, it's like you said, it's like an arm and a leg and like a few extra bodies that you have to dig up in order to pay for it. I feel like it's one of the many breaking points in the society that we've set up for ourselves, where it's like it's not sustainable, because even if somebody manages to get through all their college, which isn't even all the time, there's like a lot of dropout people who end up dropping out before they finish, but then they're saddled with like $100,000 in debt. You know, it's like, how? Okay, congrats, you went through all this effort, and now it's like you're saddled for until with this uncancelable debt. Yeah. Like you can't, even if you declare bankruptcy, you can't get rid of it. It's just like,
it's like
how do you
do or die kind of sort of thing.
And do until you die kind of thing.
Yeah, it's getting dark again.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's life is weird. We're on a floating dust ball, and who knows when the meteor is going to come out of the dark reaches of space and just blow us all to shreds.
Oh, I think the last time we talked about that,
Oh, did we?
Yeah, and there was a movie that I was like trying to recommend. Or
Don't Look Up.
No, what was it again? Greenland. Because Tampa was in it, and it got hit with a meteoroid. And it was really cool seeing that. Because like, hey, I know the city. Wait a minute. No. You're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird. I try not to. I feel like if you spend too much time dwelling on, the inevitable destruction of the universe, you don't get much done.
Yeah. I mean, like, no matter on what you negatively focus, I'm like, there's lots of things where you could like, oh, this is going wrong in life. This is going wrong in life. Should I even pay attention? It's so weird.
Mm-hmm. You can't give all your energy to the negative.
Yeah. I'm so baffled. Like, I don't know if you paid, I guess you paid attention because everybody paid attention to that whole Ukraine thing, Russia. And I'm like, oh, we will get nuke time, And I'm just like, this is the end of the world, yada, 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 And I'm just like, I'm going like full conspiracy mode. And I'm like, my mind is like, and I'm just like, logically, this could be a thing. Like, literally could be the thing. And I'm just like, I actually have to adult a little bit and, you know?
Right.
Maybe not a thing.
Like there's like war-torn parts of the world, and we're just like, man, I really need a cup of coffee to get through this afternoon.
Yeah.
Like that's okay.
Priorities, you know?
Yeah. It's just weird. I think that as soon as society can really when the day comes that society can really just get on the same page with each other across the board, across the world, if we can evolve to that point, then we'll finally be able to get something done a little bit bigger. You don't think it's going to be possible?
No, everybody's too different. And also we want to be different. How boring would it be if you were me and, we're just one?
Well, not...
You know what I mean? Like, but that would have to happen so we have 100% agreeableness, I mean,
not so much that we're just one, but like that we all appreciate our differences, and we understand that there's differences. And we don't have to be afraid of those differences. And we can say, you know what, you're not the same as me, and that's okay. We can be on the same team. As soon as we can reach that on a global scale, then we're good to go.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice, like, But even with the internet, it's not happening yet. And I'm just like, it's bunker.
Because of the internet, it's getting worse.
No, it's getting better because you can talk to your neighbors.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles, you're agreeing. Oh, gosh. I'm just like cursed, But with that clean, crisp audio, I'm like...
Even the cat sounds good.
Yeah. Come on, Charles, you can't go all the way. Why? One's a break, too. Anyhow. I'm feeling good about this whole thing, though.
Yeah.
But, I'm just in general, I was like, oh, please don't fail again. And now it sounds so good.
It does.
Yeah, and I'm happy seeing you again. It's been a while. Yeah. What were recent things happening to you? I don't know. Like, anything major happened?
Did anything major happen?
Or anything exciting?
I'm sure it did. I'm just trying to think what that would have been. Anything exciting happen?
Because usually in life there's a lot of happening, and then we get used to it, and then we completely forget, like, hey, this actually happened. I don't know.
I mean, I got sick, so that was pretty cool.
What did you got? You got the Rona Bologna?
Nah, man. Like, when you have kids, and I actually had to tell this to somebody, like, who's going to be having a kid soon.
Yeah.
But, like, when you have kids, you're susceptible to whatever they get.
You're basically getting everything.
Yeah. So it's like, if your kid just, like, suddenly starts, like, puking and, like, and all this stuff, you're like, okay, well, I guess that's going to be me now. and it is. you just get it.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So that's what it was this week,
Yeah, it happens. I mean, right now, everybody could get anything and everything. At this point, I'm just like, I don't really care. I got my vaccine or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, like, for the whole Corona thing, I did get did get my booster. That actually made me kind of sick.
Yeah.
The booster did. But then I actually got coronavirus.
Yeah.
Not that long after getting the booster.
I think we were talking, didn't we?
Yeah. But it wasn't that bad for me.
Well, that's good. Like, I did not hear too many people who had, like, major things, but there's people who have major things.
Oh yeah.
Like, major.
It's been a whole pain in the ass.
Yeah, and here in Florida, you
very
don't
deadly.
hear anything about it anymore. I'm just like, still a thing, but you don't hear anything about it.
Yeah, and masks went away, and I mean, I'm still gonna keep getting whatever boosters available. I mean,
hook me up.
I mean, yeah, give it to me. Put it in my coffee.
That would be. I would take it like that. But otherwise, I'm not a fan of that. Like, like,
really.
Yeah, it's like a whole subscription kind of sort of thing. I hate going somewhere. I just one and done. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I did the J&J.
Oh yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I got the J&J, and one day later, recall. Oh my God, if you're pregnant, and I'm just like, what? I'm just like, what? I just got that yesterday.
Oh no.
And I was like, I got the shot and I basically started drinking because I forgot I got a shot, and I was like gaming with my girl. I'm like playing some Apex Legends, and just like trying to stream, the whole gaming content. And I'm like, I feel iffy. And I'm just like, what's happening? And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh,
you glowing green.
Yeah, no, basically got the shot, was drinking beer, immune system compromised.
Okay.
And I was just like, didn't feel too great. Woke up the next day, I'm fine.
Oh.
But it was not a smart move.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend.
All right, good to know.
But
yeah, it's the season. So here we are. It's spring, and like the summer is gonna be upon us soon. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do this summer. Trying to do this spring.
How do you feel about Florida summer? Like some people, Florida is really divided. The AC dwellers, then the outdoor junkies who don't mind the heat, and then there's like a third category who are like either way I'm fine, and the other ones are like either way I hate it here. Where would you put yourself?
Oh man, so I like to enjoy where I'm at, so I make it a point to try and really like appreciate Florida.
Yeah.
I really like it at night right now when it's like nice and breezy and feels great. But like day or night, actually, like I don't really enjoy going outside anymore because it's like
it's rough.
Apparently, I'm very delicious.
Delicious? Okay, the mosquitoes love me.
Oh yeah, they love me.
Yeah,
and I don't love them back. So very love-hate relationship.
Yeah. But the heat, you mind it or you're fine with it? I personally, I'm fine. I don't care. But Rachel, for example, she's like, oh, I don't look forward for summer or the heat. And I'm like, I don't even think about the heat. Positive.
I just, I try to stay indoors. Really?
Nothing wrong with that. I'm doing that too.
I have a very computer-centric kind of job and career. And so I just try to, I don't love Florida summers. They get just hot.
Yeah.
Just hot and like humid, and it's like it gets so hot that my AC in my car can't hardly keep up, and then it's just like,
oh yeah, then it gets nasty.
That's like when you really want the AC to like really work, but it's so yeah. I mean, I've been living here for about 20 years now, so yeah. I mean, I guess I'm used to it. I just don't like being used to it.
Yeah, I'm neutral to it. I'm just like I still look forward to it because I like the whole outdoor shenanigans thing. Mm-hmm. I don't do it as often as I wish. Like, hey, let's go once a week to the beach. That ain't happening after the first year of Florida. Mm-hmm. Most people are like, oh, go no, I'm there, but no.
Yeah, I mean, I go to the beach now for completely different reasons, right? Like photography.
Oh,
like I just did a whole series on Clearwater Beach.
Okay.
I didn't end up publishing all the shots that I took there, so I've got some more shots from Clearwater Beach that I still haven't. I'll post eventually. But I moved on to Seminole Heights stuff. But yeah, I agree. I just have really bad memories of I'm like scarred from these years where I was like in college or like early in my career, and like maybe my AC in my car had broken.
Oh.
And then like it was fine for the winter. I just go with my windows down all the time, and then summer rolls around and it's raining all the time. And it's hot as hell. And so like I'm driving down the road like with my windows fogging up because it's so humid in the car. And it's so hot in the car, but I can't roll them down because it's pouring. And it's just a nightmare. Sometimes it can be.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. I'm just like thinking about like I hear like all sorts of things about humidity. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a Northwestern thing, but some people put cat sand or cat litter in the car to suck up the humidity. But obviously that's not a good. First off, it's weird. And second, it doesn't really work that well. And and you're baffled by the people who do it. But I hear about it.
If I get into someone's car and they got a bunch of kitty litter in there, I've got questions.
Yeah.
But
you
got cats that live in your car?
Not really. We got a new kitty.
Yeah,
I'm pretty stoked about that.
Your new kitty's pretty cute.
Yeah, it is a cute kitty.
Here's the thing. I really like cats.
Yeah.
Especially because they're like...
Did you have an allergy?
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats.
I forgot about
That's okay. Really, all I just have to do is like not like give them like a nice deep tissue massage and then like rub my eyes.
Yeah.
If I just avoid that, then I'm fine.
Just be careful. Don't lick the mic because
Yeah.
I already see the cat hair.
Yeah, I took some off of it just because that's what I do.
Don't touch it. It's kryptonite.
I'm OCD.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Yeah.
And the next time, I'm like, go over it with a brush and be like, oh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not like terrible, but yeah. If I spend like too much time in a cat environment, then I start to like just like get itchy eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think we kind of also should go back to the whole creating part. There was a story that you talked about, and you let me hanging. You were like on the drive towards here last time.
Oh, man.
You came up with a story about creating, and it was with one of your mentors, I remember. And then you just let me like with a cliffhanger, and now I'm like,
Damn,
It was like a studio for the exposing photos. Yeah, like a story about creating. It was. But if you don't remember, that's fine. We don't really have a clear.
See, if this was Joe Rogan's podcast, I'd be like, Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull it up.
Can you pull up that clip of when I was talking about that I was going to do something?
Yeah.
Tell a story? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's gone.
Dang it.
It never happened, and you never had that story about creating. No, I remember. It was something about like a photo series that you created.
Oh,
I don't know.
That was
more than that. I don't know.
It wasn't the motion series, was it? Well,
I'm just like, I got hung with a cliffhanger. Here I am trying to figure out the pieces because I like a good story, but it doesn't have to be.
Well, that's okay. I don't remember. Was it about the photo series that I did in college?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was okay. Well, yeah. So I think that was like probably one of the coolest sort of photo series that I did. And it was like very early on in my like.
Okay.
So the thing is that technically speaking, it wasn't a great series because like, again, I had to like shoot the film. And then, so you had to like get all the right settings, like when you're actually shooting, right? And then you have to go take it to the dark room. Yeah. And then you have to get all the settings right when you're actually like making the print and everything like that. So it's like multiple ways that you can completely fuck it up. So, and most of them, like about half the shots, I mess them up like in one way or the other. Mostly like focus was like just off, which is the worst.
Yeah, there was no autofocus.
There was no autofocus. So anyway, so when I was in college, I created this photo series. It was we had to come up with like a theme of the series, right?
I like that.
And so my series was the good egg and the bad egg. So I took these eggs and like 2 eggs, right? And so like I I led like one egg led like a very like, a very like very straight-laced life, and ended up like married to another egg, and like they had like a little egg baby, and like and I bought like all this miniature stuff for it, like doll furniture and like doll accessories and stuff, to like create these like scenes with these eggs. And then like the bad egg was like getting drunk out in the alleyway, like in the trash. And I had like all these like mini trash can, like mini trash, like mini beer bottles and all this stuff. And then the bad egg was like going on a drive in this fast car, and I had like these 2 eggs in a car, and then there was like a crash and like a broken egg and stuff. And and then at the end of the bad egg's life, he became breakfast. But then like at the end of the good egg's life, he became an Easter egg.
Oh, so you got blown out.
Yeah. They got all colorful and everything. But I mean, ultimately they're still eggs, and they both, yeah.
I like that. I really like that. There's a couple of things that I had in mind. To interrupt you, but I want it so bad. I want it so bad. First off, did you know that the most liked picture on Instagram is an egg?
Is an egg?
Is an egg. Yeah, I think it was like Instagram or Reddit or something like that. So basically, it's kind of crazy, but it's just a simple egg. You know, I'm like, on the second note that I had in my head, nowadays is like you don't really come up with a concept when you create. It's more like let's take 1,000 photos and hope something looks good, kind of sort of. And I really like the fact that you had to take your time and create something. And that I think this is like one of the most underrated skills nowadays because like there's another photographer that I really admire. Joe Solek, whatever. You met him, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he has like sometimes he does photo shoots with a story. So it's like two people standing in front of a house with some gasoline and fire thing, you know? So it's like, oh, he's telling a story with a photo. And now I'm wishing I would see the egg photo.
Well, how about before I'll send them over.
Yeah, and you still have them?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that I like scanned them all in, so I have digital files for them.
That's a good move. Yeah. Damn.
Printed on photo paper and everything, and yeah, like some of them were like the focus was.
That makes them more real.
They weren't like exposed all the way, so they're like a little muted, but whatever. It's cool.
I forgot the art museum where we were, but it was also in Arkansas. That was another thing where I wanted to interrupt you. Yeah. But I was there for a wedding of Rachel's brother, and we went to that one museum there that is actually very highly talked about, but I already forgot the name because I'm not really like the intellectual that I pretend to be. But there was many art pieces with over and underexposed photos, and when you walk in there, and you're basically like a little bit of snob of photography, and you're just like, huh, how is that art? They did not finish that. This doesn't look good. The composition is weird. And I'm just like, holy moly. And I'm like, yeah, what is your take on that?
On seeing stuff that you don't consider to be art?
Yeah.
So it gets tough. Because I feel like obviously art is very subjective. And it can mean something different to everybody, really, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, I can take a shot one way, and then edit it my way, and my way is very colorful because I love color. I love, you know, packing as much color in there as I can. I love living, you know, sort of like a colorful type life. Yeah. But like you put that same photo in somebody else's hands and they'll come up with something completely different. Yeah. So it's like, and that applies across everything, right? So it's like somebody creates a piece of art. Some people, and I'm sure many people could think it's awesome, but like I might look at it and be like,
no judgment though.
But like I'm not like, you know, I'm not like the art judge, you know.
I mean, like, we all are.
I mean, true. So, I mean, I wouldn't put money down on something that I thought was crappy. But, you know, there's probably plenty of people that wouldn't put money down on what I create either. Yeah. So,
I'm talking about putting money down. Like, you got to plug your Etsy because I really like the skyline shot of Tampa that you have on there. Like the colors and everything. I kind of want to have it back there, you know. It would be a good idea. But, yeah. Okay, but you gotta put up on Etsy the metallic prints. You know?
Oh. Yeah, metallic prints.
Yeah, have you ever got them because they look?
I have not yet. So I have my Etsy store and there I sell digital files, but I haven't started like an actual selling metal prints, even though I think that would be.
Yeah, you gotta just print one for yourself, like on that metallic thing, sheet, whatever it is. But it looks really good. And then after you have it, you still can put it up for sale, you know, and then you can guarantee fast shipping and whatever. And if it's really a banger and you know you're going to flip it, I'll make a profit.
Okay. That's, I really need to hop back on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like one of those things. Like I'm currently doing a lot of like Etsy stuff. And I'm not sure what I should focus on because I'll do too many things. But yeah. So what you focusing on right now? So on that note,
so I'm focusing more on the bigger picture stuff, more on meeting people and getting a lot more people involved in not only like my company and what I'm doing there, like trying to meet more people and talk to more people, sort of spread the word a little bit more, but also kind of growing my online audience.
Yeah.
Working the photography angle to things. A lot of people, that's like their introduction to who I am and what I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of trying to like make progress on all fronts.
Yeah. I mean, like nowadays, I think like no matter who you are, wherever you stand in like your life, that's always what you do. You're always trying to improve. Like it's not. Yeah, it's the constant struggle of like working or networking, and and sometimes networking working.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I feel don't do here this for fun.
Yeah. I feel like there's the problem that I've had though in the past was like trying to grow in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Trying to like fire some magic bullet into like social media and thinking that it would just like blow me up, like, oh man, this is the shot. Oh, that's like so
baller. The viral content.
Yeah, everyone's gonna love it. And then I put it up there and it's like 3 likes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so then why did I spend my time on it? Why did I create it? And then I get like wrapped up in this sense of trying to please other people, when the reality is that the reason I got into this and the reason I love it in the first place is not because of what other people think of what I do. It's because of what I think of what I do. It's because I enjoy what I do.
Yeah. On that note, like 2022, everything kind of has changed. In the beginning, Instagram was like the cool place to be for posting your photos. And I think they announced like last year or whatever that they are like switching to video content, as a main focus. And you get basically 150% more engagement on video content. And if you want to get any views, it's like shorts and stories. Have you found like, first off, how do you deal with that, and second off, have you found something else where you want to post your photos if you don't want to make the switch, or you know what I mean?
No.
So basically you can decide right now, do you want to post photos and don't get engagement, and just basically screw it, I'm doing art. And then there's the second version of like, I find a new social media app for photos only. But apparently video is the main focus of Instagram right now, and it seems to stay like that.
Right. So, obviously everybody's different, but for me, I'm very much more of like big picture, right?
Yeah.
So like my focus is really making progress for my company.
Yeah.
And so honestly, it can be a battle sometimes, but I really don't care how much like engagement I necessarily get on my photography, is because the photography that I put out is something that's offered by my company.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's part of, if you want to like look this good, like I have a full wall of examples of like how baller you can look if you hire my company.
And you got the budget first.
Right. And you have the budget, and I've got examples of websites, and I've got examples of this, that, and the other. So, it's like an entry point. Like, but I think the main way that I'm trying to grow is not by impressing the gods of algorithms or whatever, to promoting me more, blowing up on this, that, or the other, because like I've had big accounts post my stuff, and it's like, it feels cool for a second,
and it doesn't,
but then you're like, okay, so somebody really big shared my stuff, like, so where's the money?
What does it do?
Yeah.
Exposure, what is that again?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but like, no, I think just going out and meeting people and talking to people and actually getting conversations, that's what I'm really focused on right now.
It's kind of weird, like when we started meeting each other and like basically, hey, you do photos, I do video, and you're just like, you need to have a portfolio, and I'm like, still portfolio, but I'm still getting gigs and stuff, and I'm just like, I still need to get myself down to like, let's sit down and just edit like all those weddings to get into one wedding thing, or all those client videos into a thing. But before I do that, I'd rather post a YouTube video because I just don't care about like impressing people.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of a weird thing, but you kind of have to have like somewhat of a presence with like you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, especially, okay, so like, and this applies to anybody who specializes, right? So if you're talking about somebody who specializes in video or graphic design or, fine art or whatever, animation, a guy like me who's like running a company who wants to offer the service of a specialist, I need to at least be able to see what I can expect. So like if I'm thinking like, oh, I want to put together this commercial or this little video ad for the small business that's over here, I need to at least be able to see like what the quality of the specialist is before I can consider like having them do said project.
That is like, I completely understand that, and I'm like, that is a point where I have to improve, because like my biggest struggle is like branding, consistency, and like doing the stuff that I don't care about. But on the other side, I'm like, when you said you create that one piece of content that maybe is the hit, YouTube is kind of like a lottery. Like if you make one video that goes viral, you can be set, so I'm like, I want to focus on that, and just like build that versus like the client thing, but I need to have money. So it's like, it's a weird balancing act of like, what should I do versus like, what do I want to do?
It's nice for the people that blow up and get viral, but I feel like usually when that happens, they're not necessarily trying to be viral, right?
That's true too.
So I think that if you can avoid the trap of trying to produce the one thing that's gonna like blow up, then you can really focus on creating things that are great. And that you're maybe outdoing yourself every time. Like you're doing better than what you did before, and
I like that.
Really trying to push your own limits to create something magnificent. And if it blows up after you've created it, just icing on the cake.
And I hear it like on that note, because like it's also like kind of like a trial and error thing, and usually like most people who basically go kind of sort of viral, takes them like 7 years or something. Like for 7 years you kind of produce content. There's like people who cannot sing and they're doing karaoke on YouTube, but randomly get picked up by a big creator, and then the internet loves them, because like they did it for 7 years and they scroll back through the catalog of content that they created, no views, and they just like, they do it because they love it, blows up, and everybody's like supporting them now. I forgot what the name was of that guy, but there's like several examples like that. So it's like, I kind of wish I have that niche where I'm like, oh, I'm just doing it because I love it, but that's like kind of like, I'm trying to find my tail. You know what I mean? But do you have like for example, that type of like passion, like for a subject, I don't know, or a hobby that you just like, you created no matter what?
Photography, for sure.
Okay.
Because like, even if and it took me forever to realize this, but my phone has like a pro mode where you can like actually set like the ISO and the exposure and the shutter speed and blah 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 blah. I didn't. So like, and the auto mode on my phone's camera is like crap. So even if I'm out and about and I don't have my camera, I'll still take pictures, and I'll take them in like my way, right? Where it's not just like snapshots, selfies, like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, I I'm a rule of thirds guy. I'm like, I love blocking. I love compiling like a beautiful frame. So photography is the one thing that like I'll still do that even if the internet explodes and I can't post anything anywhere.
I like that. Yeah, for me it's like, it's not like that. I'm just like, I do it for a purpose, and that's probably the wrong motivation, kind of.
I mean, is there a wrong motivation though? I mean,
I don't know. Like,
it's whatever gets you out of bed and gets you to do it, right?
Like, it's like a self-finding thing,
ultimately what you're going for is money, right?
Kinda, or like not caring about money more. So, like being independent and free, like the internet is one of those tools where it's like, oh, you master one skill and you can monetize it and you become the specialist, expert, whatever you want to call it. And you're like number uno to ask, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's kind of the goal. And my goal was like in the beginning, like I think I should like learn video to tell stories or tell my story, and then I'm able to monetize it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think that especially these days, with how YouTube is and monetization and all that stuff, you can actually just do things that you enjoy, and then it can also be a completely viable source of income.
Yeah.
And once you've got it on YouTube, if you're putting out like a body of work that has rewatch value, or not rewatch value, but like
somewhat of value for the company,
like timeless.
Yeah.
So for instance, there's a photographer that I like on YouTube. His name's I think it's like Mark Laita. Anyway, the series is called Soft White Underbelly. And what he does is like he just interviews a person for like 20 minutes. Usually there's somebody who has a whole lot of character.
Yeah.
Very interesting people. Like you want to hear their story, right?
Yeah.
Like porn stars and hookers and like and pimps and drug dealers and like homeless people,
good people,
schizophrenics and druggies and homeless people and like people who live in the Appalachian Mountains, like inbred, like all sorts of
fancy people,
very interesting individuals. But yeah, like all he does is he interviews them, he takes their picture, and he shows the interview, and he shows the picture like about halfway through.
Yeah,
they're still talking. I mean, it's just talking, just like kind of like a thing like this. And then he goes through the life story, like how they got to be where they're at, how life is going and stuff like that. And it's timeless because you could go through that body of work at any point. It's not like he's talking about events of the day.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of stuff is really cool, and like he's just following his passion.
Has also a lot of value because like let's say like kids, family, whatever, like they can rewatch that. And what most people don't really understand is like the whole video thing is kind of like real estate. You create one piece of content, you put it out there, and it's first off, it's licensed by you. You can monetize it in any way you think, and there's like so many ways what you could do with it, but it's kind of timeless, like in 5 years this maybe could be like very valuable for a person or not,
right?
But that's like the thing is like the more content you create for like the bigger masses later on, because there's maybe 20 billion people in like 20 years, who knows, and then it's like they will consume this or whatever it is, and then I think it's very valuable.
So like I mean that's part of something I started doing on purpose like 5 or 6 years ago maybe. Was I was telling myself like, man, you know what, I really need to make like my own library of images. So like instead of like, there was a time like long time ago when as I was working as a graphic designer, and if I needed a picture of Tampa, I would have to like go look on a stock website like for a picture of Tampa. But now I have my own library. Like I don't have to use anybody else's work for anything. Like so if somebody
does some good work there, like,
and I've taken shots of like all of the major areas like around us, like Clearwater, St. Pete, North Tampa, Seminole Heights, Port Richey, out on the beaches and Tarpon Springs, and I've been all over the place. So if I start doing work with a company who's like wants to create some content like this part of town, that part of town, they want to associate themselves with like the metropolitan like Tampa area, the downtown area, be like, yes, here I have a wide assortment of images that are just at your disposal.
Damn, yeah, that's actually really good, and it's very unique too. Have you what is your thought about like the whole NFT Bitcoin shenanigans? Because like there's potential with like the stuff, as long as you own whatever you produce, you could do like a unique series of like 10 photos you ever made, like your X story, could put that as an NFT out there, and everybody can have a piece of the story and one of a kind.
I've been in touch with a few different NFT blockchain type individuals ever since that thing started blowing up. I did one series, an art series that I was actually working with Kian. You remember? I was working with Kian on that. But anyway, it was like a whole series of like imperfect circles that I put together. That was we were gonna work on getting that into the blockchain. And then somebody else had approached me about doing a series of Tampa shots, but like motion shots.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Do you remember some of the shots I posted where it was like motion at the fair?
Oh, you mean like the light thing? Like
the
light
lights
rails
moving.
and stuff like that. I like them.
Yeah. So there's. Do you know what a cinematograph is?
Kind of.
Cinematograph.
It's the old school term for like cinematographer or?
No. So
what do you mean?
A cinematograph is like it's basically like an animated GIF. But it's a photo. But like so you animate a small portion of the photo.
Yeah.
Usually, so it's generally a still photo, but then like a small part of it is like moving and looping.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've made a couple cinemagraphs in the past, and they're really cool.
I'm very curious about that. I want to see.
Yeah, you want to see one?
I want to see. Get your phone. Okay, so you kind of can show me. We don't have a Jamie here now, so you guys cannot see it.
We have to pull it up ourselves.
Don't show them.
They
can buy the NFT if they want to, if you have it as an NFT.
So yeah, let me find you an.
Yeah. By the way, do you play poker?
Do I play poker?
Yeah.
I'm
here to take your money.
I'm able to play poker. I wouldn't say that I've played like a lot of poker. Okay, so here's a great example.
Turn it around and show it to me, so
okay.
maybe the camera can see it.
Tight. I wonder if there's a way to like.
Because like the camera kind of gets it.
Okay,
I guess.
There we go. This will help. Okay, so.
Okay, just let it like that.
Okay.
So it's like a video kind of sort of.
It's kind of a video, but most of it's still.
Yeah. Did you know there's like TVs nowadays where you mount them on the wall and you play like a video like that?
Oh yeah.
And it's just like a wallpaper then, moving wallpaper. And they are like super flat, so they look like a picture, and they don't have like with the new I think whatever display, they basically just like don't look like a monitor because they're not like that bright, but they look like a photo kind of sort of. And I'm like, that would be perfect material for that.
Yeah. So I mean, I've made them before, and I think I might make another series of.
Gotta rename that and put it on YouTube. People play that on a 10-hour loop.
Oh yeah. 10-hour loop of a cinematograph. Sure.
And then they just turn it on, and I have a playlist and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I think there's probably even like pages where you can post certain things, like you upload that one to like a site that only hosts that type of content.
Oh, okay.
So that they can like switcheroo, and see like, oh, I really like this guy's style.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out.
I need to start creating.
We all missing out.
I know.
But like, on what do you focus though?
yeah. I think there's a lot of room there for something interesting that I hadn't even thought of. Because like I've made a series of like just still videos, just like on a tripod of like a scene. So I would just got me thinking. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cinemagraphs.
I'm not thinking a lot, but once in a while, people scratch their head. What's going on?
Yeah, there might be some 10-hour YouTube videos in my future. Nice.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I gotta play it at least once.
Yeah, man.
I ain't watching it through though.
Oh, no.
Unless I'm gone.
I certainly hope not. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You have to be like really inebriated of some kind of stare at a 10-hour video.
Just meditation, just like that keeps me going. 10 hours.
Yeah.
What do you think about like meditation, yoga shenanigans? You're doing that for your mind?
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's kind of new for me. I haven't found like an actual like schedule. I'm like not doing it on the daily basis just yet, but like I've taken some moments to really zen in and like breathe the oxygen around me and appreciate the life that I have and appreciate where I am in this life and how fortunate I am to be who I am. Even though, you know, I feel like there's this constant push to become like so much more awesome and better and become the biggest and the best and
the hero of the story, yada yada yada. You know,
I mean, I'm alive. I've been alive for almost 40 years now, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to appreciate the small things and really embrace life for its simple existence.
Yeah. I mean, everything is like kind of relative, you know. Like we could compare us now to like the top 1% of like America, but if you compare us to the rest of the world, we are in the 1%, you know. It's just like a different 1%, and the 1%ers in America, they are like comparing them to the other 1% of billionaires, whatever, and they're not there.
The millionaires are comparing themselves to billionaires, and billionaires are comparing themselves to multi-billionaires, and it's just like, we just
chill,
take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, we got it good. Life is good.
Yeah. And it's like, who's happier in the long run anyway? You know, we're in the 1% of the world, but like, are other people in other countries happy as we are on a daily basis?
I think some of them are.
Probably, most likely. And so it's like, you know, we need to chill too. Yeah.
So it's not at all that stressful. Like, but it's like big mind games, you know, like and challenges, and it's not always easy. Like reflecting and being like, I have it actually good when everything goes to shit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, relatively speaking, depends on how much shit it goes to, but yeah. I mean, I still think about that meteor. I don't know when it's gonna hit, but I mean, we live in a chaotic universe, and so
I kind of think it would be a cool way to go. Even the nuke thing, I'm like, if I have to go, you know, would that be a cool thing? I think it would.
Well, I would rather. Okay, man, this is getting dark again.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're good at that, but like,
you got a dock shirt. I got a baby blue. I catch you.
Yeah. So if the world's gonna, if things are gonna get real ugly, I would prefer that it be a global catastrophic event, a nice like Earth killer kind of thing, so that we can all share the same fate. Because honestly, if a nuke goes off, it's just gonna affect, you know, depending on the size.
Not one.
Not one. All of them.
A couple.
Yeah, so the whole Russia thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't remember if we talked about it last time.
We did not. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen yet, but like, I remember there was a time like back in the day where I was like really interested nuclear technology and like how big our bombs had gotten. Did you know how big the nukes are that we've tested, the Tsar Bomba?
Well, I'll pretend I don't know, but please tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, the Tsar Bomba, the mother of bombs, was developed by Russia.
Yeah.
And tested up in northern Russian area. And
you little dipshit. I can do that. I like you. But talking about that nuke size,
like where the plane that dropped that thing could barely even escape the blast radius because it was so massive.
Yeah.
And I mean, just not even talking about that bomb, but like other big, you know, nukes that have gone off. It's the kind of thing where it's like, if you cover your eyes with your hand, you can see like when the flash goes off, it's so bright that you can see your bones through your hand and through your eyelids.
Yeah. Get crazy.
A little bit.
I'm just like, I don't know. Like on the, you know, scale of like, hey, this is kind of a boring way to die. Like if you think about it, like you would die like everybody else on the earth, you know, like kind of like getting eaten or die because of age or some like boring disease. It's the more fancy way to go.
A nuke?
Yeah.
I mean,
depending where you stand, but
North Korea has developed intercontinental ballistic missiles. Might have our opportunity.
I don't believe in them like actually being capable of firing them, you know. So
I mean, already shown video of them taking off.
yeah, well, it probably just flies like a couple miles and then
I
somewhere
hope
else.
you're right. That would
Yeah.
be cool.
Could you imagine what a shit show that would be like? Just land
Yeah.
somewhere in the fucking water and you're just like, God damn it.
Well, yeah. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that I don't. North Korea isn't exactly playing by the same rules as the rest of the world. They're kind of like
Yeah.
on their own planet, on our planet. So, like a kingdom within a globe. Is our thing.
It is.
And now they have nukes.
Yeah. With the whole Russian thing though, how was the mindset of yours? Like, I went out and bought food, you know. I
really?
hear that and I'm like, okay, I was expecting like COVID shenanigans. Toilet paper will be out of stock, gas prices will be through the roof, food will be gone.
Yeah.
The only thing that actually happened was the gas, but
Yeah.
did you do anything like that?
No.
No prepping?
I believe in a shared fate, shared destiny, where
Yeah.
it's like if everybody's in trouble, then I guess I'm in trouble too.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna be in very common circumstances.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. I was like looking up all the ways of like, oh, if you dig a hole, how deep has the hole to be? If you build a bunker and then like after you dig deep enough and you like on the internet, I mean now after you're like read enough, you realize even if you survive it, you maybe survive it for half a year, but you guarantee don't survive a year because after that there will be no food.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's not very optimistic.
Yeah.
And we're talking the next 20 years too, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's like my parents they bought these emergency food prep, or these emergency like food supplies or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing dehydrated. I mean, I don't know, these like buckets of like food prep or something, or preppers for like shit going south, right? But the thing is like, okay, so if you get to a point where you have to rely on food buckets in your back room, like shit's gotten real bad. And I don't know, you know, you might be prolonging your existence for like a few weeks, months, maybe
a year, some quality years, you know.
Yeah, in that
on that
right
on that cookie dough or whatever you have left.
Meanwhile, like society is completely collapsing and it's complete anarchy and it's all the end of the world. So anyway,
yeah, fun things to think about. Food for thought.
Until you run out of food and then it's just thought.
Got a ration, you know. Don't think too much. Oh. Yeah, but yeah, that was like kind of the things that were going through my head the last couple of weeks, kind of sort of, and now I'm like, oh, it seems like it's normal. It's just a casual war going on.
No, it's just the war of the week. It's all good.
Yeah. 2022 and 2021. Nice ride.
And 2020. 2020 was wild too.
Oh, I already forgot.
We expected so many good things out of 2020, but then COVID hit in 2020.
True. That was also like,
ruined that really cool number.
Yeah, and now everything is weird. Talking about like, I wanted to another thing where I interrupt you, but it came back to my mind. Talking about like old school vintage photography, you know, it's becoming hip again, and kids are not using social media anymore. So it's like kind of weird. So weird people using social media, and I'm just like, I have coworkers, you know, on my side job where I'm like, okay, they're like, you know, whatever. And I'm just like, don't really post on Instagram or anything. And I'm just like, weird, you know? And I'm just like, oh, am I weird for doing that and trying to get validation? And then I do not even exist on the radar of said people because they don't use that technology. And they're going back to vintage stuff, like vintage cameras, vintage lenses and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's tricky, right? Because like, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, I think. So, for me, the big thing that I'm trying to accomplish is really ultimately growing my business. Like everything sort of revolves around the goal of like growing my brand design, my ad company. So
making the money.
Yeah. So really all my social media posting is like centered around that goal, even though it's not really explicit.
Yeah.
Because like the photography thing's for fun. I'm getting in front of people's eyes. And by the way,
Yeah.
I think it's local photographers. There's some great talented people like in this area.
It's disgusting how many talented people there are, because like you're competing with them. Everybody's competing with everybody. I'm just like, do you really want to be the best of the best and you compete with all those good people, Well,
that's the thing. I'll bet if you ask a lot of them, they're not necessarily competing with anybody. But there's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm surprised that the city or entities within the city or companies within the city haven't taken more advantage of how much talent there is like on social media
locally
for local artists, for local photographers especially. They'll just like repost their work for free on social media, but they don't actually do anything significant with them.
Yeah.
They don't collaborate with them. They don't do shows of like local photographers. Like, there's a huge potential there. They'll focus on artists or traditional artists, the guy doing the film and whatever. And he's good too. But it's not just like that's not the only thing that's art. Just because these people are on social media posting these pictures all the time doesn't mean it's not high quality good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, rant.
Yeah, I feel that. Like local people should do more. That is like 100%. On that note though, I think like as a photographer, you're not that special anymore, because like there's a lot of people having a smartphone, taking photos, taking the next step, buying a cheap camera for $400, whatever, and nowadays in America, everybody who has somewhat of a wage could kind of sort of afford like in that budget range a semi-professional or okay camera, and then they consider them photographers, blah blah blah, whatever, and then they get passionate. But the new hip thing is like the whole NFT thing, and I think like if you do art around that and use like your skills in photography or like digital marketing or whatever, it has potential because you kind of have to go with the time. Back in the day, it was like artists making drawings. Doesn't sell that well anyways nowadays either. They struggle too.
Yeah.
And I would not really buy a piece of art. Kind of
buy a piece of art.
Yeah, no. If I have to hang it, like. It doesn't look that nice here. It maybe would look nicer with a piece of art, but
probably would.
Yeah, but still, then it gets even more clunky, and then you have to have a set collection of art. Then you have to be able to arrange all those pieces. I cannot even arrange.
Well, yeah.
You see what I mean? It's like I like a lot of pretty things, but I cannot hang all those pretty things.
Sure.
Because they don't match.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough,
and I can't afford all of them.
Here.
But NFTs. Cannot afford them either, but I could collect them all, technically.
Well, once we all get into the metaverse, you can start decorating your meta home with them. Yeah. Your e-home.
Yeah, I wanted to show you the VR thing, but yeah, that failed the last time too.
I remember using that though. Did
you? I don't know.
Yeah, we looked through the.
Yeah, I did some photos with my cameras together because I got a new lens and it was kind of cool. And I'm like, whoa.
Cool. Yeah, I remember looking at your like 3D scape that you made.
Yeah, the yacht or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. 45 seconds.
Oh wow.
I really like. That's kind of weird.
Talking really close.
Yeah. Call to action. Please subscribe to Create Before Consume because we need them views. And yeah, also you should check out Trevor because Trevor. Really cool guy.
Yeah, I'll bet if you're in the Tampa area, you type in and you go to Instagram and you type in Trevor, I'll bet I'll pop up. It'll probably be
by Trevor.
It'll if you just
check it out. I want to see.
Well, yeah.
Well, my phone is there. I can't do that.
Thing is, I can't. I don't know if I can type in Trevor on my own Instagram because I'm gonna come up instantly. But like, Trevor Creative is the actual name of the account, so it's like a picture of me going like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Something.
Well, on that note, like I highly appreciate you coming on this podcast and probably having now a recording here that actually will make its way onto the internet. And yeah, so what do you think about the wall? Do you like the black one better or the white? You look in this kind of.
I think
Your angle looks good. Well, that's why I was the whole time nearly on there. But
nice.
the white, I'm not a big fan of it so far. I thought like the videos were too dark, but yeah.
I think you could benefit from something.
Yeah.
Some sort of like
art thing that
something
we discussed.
representative.
I cannot hang.
Yeah, or a picture of St. Pete or something. Yeah. Something. I think.
Like a logo create. Maybe.
That too.
By the way, what do you think about the mugs?
Oh, yeah, I like the mugs.
Yeah, the mugs, they're pretty good. Rachel designed them. I really like them. I had the shop up for a month. Didn't promote them. Then the shop got deactivated, and now I have to reactivate it and actually promote that stuff because we have all that stuff going on here. So I'm like, gotta do that. But on that note, what is the Netflix show you want to watch? And we all should check out.
Oh wait, what is it? The Netflix show?
I don't know. What is it? You said you were kind of hooked on a show that you want to watch with your girlfriend.
Oh yeah. Well, right now we're on the Scientology.
Oh,
the Leah Remini.
That's like I don't even know if we can talk about that. This is like, here being too close to the sauce.
Yeah, we're really close to like.
Yeah, Ebor is like kind of interesting too.
But
like it's real.
Other than that, check out Holy Mountain.
Holy Mountain.
Go watch the Holy Mountain.
Have you watched the Batman, the new one?
I haven't watched the new Batman yet.
I liked it. I liked it. It was worth the money. Okay. Was it amazing like the Joker? No. But was it kind of a moody action flick that was like kind of surprising at sometimes? Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, I just now finally watched Endgame.
Endgame. What was it?
The Avengers Endgame. You didn't like it?
It was so. Oh God! Don't get me even started on that. That was like trash. Like in my book, like there was like moments in there where I'm like, oh, they display like there was that hero fight, and they displayed every hero doing something special, and then there was like, oh, now the female hero is coming in and has a special moment saving the guys, and this is absolutely not political. And every hero had their 20-second, hey, I saved somebody else. And I'm just like, so predictable.
Yeah, is very formulaic and very crowd pleasing.
Yeah, and it was then also multiple moments where it was like very predictable. The story is kind of like, was that really logical? Like, poof, everybody gone. Yeah.
So if you want a movie that's completely non-predictable and completely psychotic, I watched The Holy Mountain today.
I got some movie names for you, by the way, that you should watch.
Okay. Well, anyway, when I was watching this thing, like, I probably said, what the fuck, like, out loud 30 times in the span of 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to watch it.
And it's a newer movie. I'm going to watch it, but I think you said it was 2007, so it's relatively new.
Well, apparently this was released in the 70s.
Oh.
I mean, it looks like
so the quality is a little bit bad?
No, it's really good.
No, I mean like I like newer movies like where it looks newer, but they can be a little bit dated, but not too much. So, you know, when you go to Star Wars, like the first couple, I'm like, it's cool, but I can't really watch it because I'm it's too old.
Oh no!
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah,
but that's just like a weird thing. But back in the day when I watched them, they were a banger. But so that's why I don't want to ruin the memory, you know. And now I would see all those flaws and the props, special effects.
You have to really suspend your
acceptance of
what you've gotten used to as like a standard of movie excellence or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the effects must be flawless. This is impossible. Like,
yeah,
like enjoy what they're giving you, I guess, even if it doesn't always look like 100.
Yeah, but 2 movies. Low Life. You gotta check out it. Okay. You will say what the fuck easy boy. 20 times.
Oh boy.
And then Butt Boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Let's see. Low Life and Butt Boy, you say?
Yeah. Gotta watch it with the wife.
I did not expect that.
it is like you gotta watch it through though. The best thing you can do is have a drink because you will need it. You will never ever say so much what the fuck in your life watching the two movies. I'm just like telling you. But I'm very curious about your movie suggestion. The whole the Holy Mountain. The Holy Mountain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Low Life high recommendation is also really like what, but really cool and really funny.
Okay.
But Bad Boy blows your mind.
Cool.
Yeah, just saying.
I'll check it out.
Top 3 movie recommendations.
I love weird
tonight.
movies. Yeah, all the way.
Yeah. There's also another movie that I cannot really recommend, but it has a cool name and it's kind of crazy too. Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yeah. With that one guy. What's his name? He was a famous like actor.
Yeah, well, it was not worth it really though to watch it. But you got to be in a weird mood.
That sounds like my other movie recommendation, Beyond the Black Rainbow.
I got to write those 2 down, at least I recorded them. Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
No, jeez.
We never know. No, we should get. I'm getting the backup audio, got a backup camera, and I would say we end it here. Or this is the final calling. Thanks for watching Create Before Consume. This was our boy Trevor.
That's our other boy Fitz.
Yeah, if I find myself, there we go. Oh, nope, that's not me. This is me. No, it's also not me. Well,
there you go. There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I kind of want to bother you on another thing because I shot a hot sauce commercial and I need maybe some voiceover if you want to check it out. And
heck yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody else doing a voiceover, but the timing was a little bit off and like voice wise, I'm not 100% sure with who I want to go. So maybe you're interested in doing that.
I'm interested in anything that's fun and cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun and cool. So
cool.
But on this note, thanks for being on Create Before Consume.
Thanks for having me.
In another one.